Welcome my dear students in grade 4. Our lesson today is story module 9. Let's start our lesson. Please open your students book page 110 and 111 and your workbook page 114. Objectives to read a story for pleasure.
Module 9. Story 1. Vocabulary. Stalk. Beak. Jar. Delicious. 2. Read and answer. Why did Mr. Fox invite Mr. Stork to dinner?
Mr. Fox and Mr. Stork. Mr. Fox and Mr. Stork were good friends. One day, Mr. Fox said to Mr. Stork,
"Let's have dinner at my house."
OK,
said Mr. Stork.
"I'm going to play a joke on Mr. Stork."
Mr. Fox thought.
"I made the most delicious soup in the world,"
said Mr. Fox. There were 2 dishes of hot soup on the table. Mr. Fox started eating, but Mr. Stork didn't eat any soup.
my beak is very long. I can't eat the soup in this dish.
Mr. Stork thought.
I have to go now, but let's have dinner at my house tomorrow.
Mr. Stork said, and then left.
"That was fun,"
said Mr. Fox. The next day, Mr. Fox went to Mr. Stork's house. Mr. Fox said,
"I'm hungry. Do I smell fish? I'm hungrier now."
Then Mr. Fox saw 2 tall jars on the table.
"I can't eat the fish in this jar,"
Mr. Fox thought. Mr. Fox said,
"I see. I played a joke on you. Now you're playing a joke on me. I'm sorry."
It's OK. I'm going to bring a different dish for you.
said Mr. Stork.
"Thank you."
Said Mr. Fox.
Now read and answer the questions. Does Mr. Stork accept Mr. Fox's invitation? Excellent. Yes, he does. Look at frame 2. How many dishes are there on the table? Perfect. 2. Look at frame 3. Can Mr. Stork eat? No, he can't. Why? Because his beak is very long and he can't eat soup in the flat dish. Please bring your notebooks and write the answers in your notebooks. Look at frame 4. How does Mr. Fox feel about the joke he played on Mr. Stork? Excellent. He thinks it was fun. Do you think it's fun, really? It's a silly thing to play jokes on others. Okay, now look at frame 5. What can Mr. Fox smell in Mr. Stork's house? Perfect, he can smell fish. What does he see on the table? He saw 2 tall jars. Can he eat the fish in the jar? No, he can't. Look at frame 6. What does Mr. Fox realize? He realizes that Mr. Stork is playing a joke on him. Does Mr. Stork accept Mr. Fox's apology? Yes, he does. How do the two friends feel at the end of the story? They are both happy. Read again and complete the sentences using one word. Please stop the video and answer the questions quickly. Then come back to check your answers. Number 1. Mr. Fox wanted to play on Mr. Stork. Perfect. He wanted to play a joke. Number 2. Mr. Stork couldn't eat the soup because his was very long. Yes, excellent. His beak. Number 3. Mr. Stork invited Mr. Fox to his house for dinner. Number 4. Mr. Stork put the fish into tall jars. Perfect. Number 5. Mr. Stork brought a different for Mr. Fox in the end. Excellent. A different dish.